Wow, I don't know that we thought it was going. Bless you. We didn't thought it was going to end like that. Maybe it's fitting. You've given Marc Jackson a cold, everyone. That's how bad it got here for Game 6, the elimination game. The Sixers had to win, and they couldn't muster enough. They barely got to 90 points on the night. As we welcome you here to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance, Amy Fadool, Jim Lynam, Marc Jackson. And it was lackluster. It was lackluster really from the jump. The Sixers showed a little bit of fight at halftime. You're thinking, okay, well, maybe they'll get something going positive in the second half, but Marc, that wasn't the case. The Sixers had nothing. They came out so flat in the second half. The Miami Heat were the ones saying, this is our game. We're going to take it. We're going to take it from you, and they did. They took it. They took this thing, and they ran with it. This Miami team, 2 games in a row, took the fight to us, and we had no answers. You know, I got to give props where it is. You know, Jimmy the Butler, you know, guys like P.J. Tucker, Strus, like these guys just really played better basketball, and they had a better night than us, and not just in the points and statistical category, but also on the edge category as well. Yeah, that edge, that kind of chip on your shoulder, you would think it was the Heat team that came out with something to prove. They had nothing to prove. All they were going to say is that we're the 1 seed and we're going to take the game. The Sixers sounded like they were going to prove something when you heard them after Game 5, Jim, but they did not prove anything. If they did, it certainly isn't a positive.
No, Aim, your word at the top, lackluster, I think that really sums up this performance. The Sixers, I mean, inexplicably, you know, didn't have it. We got excited, and I think rightly so at the time, when the Sixers won those 2 games. But at this point in time, given these last 2 games and the way they played out, you have to say that the better team won this series. I mean, it was lackluster really all over, but especially in the second half where the Sixers were very, very poor on the offensive end. That is our Colonial Nissan game changer, because the game certainly did change. When you think about it, only 15 points in the third quarter. They had 27, but some of those in garbage time in the fourth quarter. But, Jim, why do you think they came out so flat? And they didn't even get good looks, it looked like. Yeah, it's inexplicable to me. It was a competitive. I didn't think the Sixers played all that great the first half, but they were competing. It was a 1-point game. But once that third quarter started, Miami simply took it to them. And I thought the Sixers really struggled offensively all night long. They never were able to establish a rhythm to what they were trying to do. While at the other end, I mean, Jimmy Butler for sure, he was the engine that fueled this train of a team for the Heat. He was just sensational, and his teammates really played off him. Sixers, we know that the Heat have a good defense. We've seen that. They had a good defense all season long. That's why they were one of the reasons they were the 1 seed, Marc. But 42 points, 15 points in the third quarter when you're right there at halftime and you come out and you put 15 on. That's it for an entire quarter. How is that possible? It's not possible. It shouldn't be possible. This kind of offensive power. You know, guys not being aggressive, guys not wanting. They was playing possession, but people act like they didn't want to shoot the ball. Right. Like, come on. Like, what's going on here? Like right now, the miscommunication, the body language, these two going at it. Like, call it what you want. James Harden did not play great basketball. He didn't play good basketball. He didn't play subpar basketball. I did not like what I've seen from him, to the point like some things where they going at each other on the court, deservedly so, because it wasn't right. Yeah, you saw a couple of his teammates kind of look at him at different times. We saw the problems in Game 5 where he slowed the ball down. He would pound the rock and try to, like, get some, and it just really took the Sixers out of their rhythm. And then you saw that again tonight. This isn't a case of this is just the style of James Harden, Jim. This is how he's going to play, and if the Sixers are going to keep him around next year, then they're going to have to work around it. Well, I guess, yeah, Aim, I would agree that there is some truth to that. But I'm just going to go that Miami's defense just totally dismantled in the 76ers in these last 2 games. Ready? How about this stat? James Harden did not shoot a free throw in this game, if I saw that stat sheet right. And I think Joel Embiid only shot 4. And that indicates to me they're playing out here and not challenging the defense. That's what Miami was successful at doing. They got this team standing around, confused, and they really just had it sapped their energy to me. Yeah, you saw it. The body language was pretty poor. 2 shots for James Harden in the second half of this one, too, and he made neither of them. He had 11 points at the half, and he finished with 11 points. So, Amy, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Marc. Coach, forgive me. So as I look at this box score, ladies and gentlemen, you know, Tobias Harris, 13 shot attempts. Joel Embiid, 24. Maxey, 22. James Harden, 4 for 9.
I think we have to look at that and we have to say what's going on here. Why would one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history shoot the ball 9 times in a closeout game? And they say, okay, does he facilitate? He had 9 assists. That's wonderful. But a big thing with James Harden is he's a great, great distributor of the basketball. But when it's 4 for 9, that's not enough for one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history to shot attempts. To me, Miami's an incredible defensive team, but they not. I can go out there and get more than 9 shot attempts, period.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
I'm in great shape, but I'm not NBA ready, and I go out there and get more 9 shot attempts. I don't like that.
I bet you get to the free throw line more than 0 times,
absolutely.
too. Yeah, that's it's a lot of stats. We're going to be digesting it all and kind of, where it went wrong, where to go from here. But let's check in now with our Kate Scott, who joins us from here inside the Wells Fargo Center. And Kate, we saw the fans, rightfully so. I'm not going to blame the fans for trying to leave, 5 or 6 minutes early.
Nope.
The boos came down. They paid money for those seats. They get to boo. It was not a praiseworthy performance. It maybe was a boo-worthy performance. I mean, what was the energy like? It just felt flat out there tonight.
Yeah, I think it was really hard as soon as the second half started, right? Danny goes down in the first quarter, and everybody doesn't know what to do. Are the Sixers even going to have a shot in the second quarter of this one? The Sixers were able to find their energy, kind of refine their footing, right? Put together a pretty nice second quarter and went into the half thinking, okay, we've got a shot at this one, at sending this one back to South Beach. And then the Heat start out the third quarter. I think it was on a 6-0 run, and you started thinking, guys, we need you to fight right now, right? I know that the national broadcast had Doc Rivers saying, guys, we got to fight, we got to fight. But that is when, as teammates, Marc knows, Coach knows, this is where you got to be saying it to each other, right? This is where you got to be saying, this could be our last game together this season. Who wants it? Do we want it? And then, as Marc said, I had to keep looking at the stat sheet. I hope that he comes back next year. I hope that he's a Sixer for a very long time. But the fact that James Harden took 2 attempts in the second half and did not attempt a free throw, I had to continually check my notes and check my computer to make sure that was true. So, yeah, just a really tough effort. I think the guys played, for the most part, as hard as they could. Just ran out of energy, ran out of gas, ran out of guys coming off the bench. My guy, Bang Bang George Niang, back-to-back 0-point performances. It's just not good enough. So, in the NBA, sometimes just not good enough.
Kate, we know good play oftentimes fuels emotion, but the camera on frequent occasion, like panning both benches, it was a stark contrast for me, like the way the Miami bench was engaged in this game. I mean, when it was still a game, whereas the Sixer, they just seemed so flat and devoid of emotion.
Right there with you, Coach. And it's a small thing, but you guys know about this, playing and coaching in the NBA. I said it at the beginning of the season when I got here that I know a lot of people were talking about a dunk that was not attempted, et cetera, et cetera. But I continually pointed to the fact that Danny Green was not available at the end of that series last year. And you guys know it takes a lot to win a championship in any sport. But we're obviously talking about the NBA. Danny's won 3 of them with 3 different teams that have played 3 different schemes. So I don't think we can understate the importance when it came to moments like that on the bench. And also we know George Niang was a huge energy boost for this crowd, for this team this year. So I think the fact that he was struggling the last 2 games made it really difficult because for most of the season, those are the guys that I look to fire people up, right? The vocal leaders on the bench. And when one of them is out with injury and one of them's not playing well, it's hard to get that energy and spirit going.
Kate, unfortunately, our fans will leave with a bad taste in their mouth because of they will look at our team and said they didn't give us blue-collar effort. We could try to find all the positives we want, but we also have to hold people accountable. But we have to give credit to Miami. Miami came out, and one thing I've noticed the last 2 games, they just out-toughed us. And I know people say, what do you mean by that is? The 50-50 ball, the offensive rebound. How many opportunities we have on an offense when we shot the ball and no one was around the paint area? Can we just discuss that, Kate? What did you see out there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I think Amy tweeted about it in the fourth quarter. There was a moment where we were all hoping maybe there was one last, finishing kick that the Sixers had. Jimmy Butler missed the shot. It felt like the ball bounced 8 times before Jimmy then was the one to track it down, steps behind the three-point line, and then knocks down the three-pointer. So I think that I completely understand how upset Sixers fans, everybody watching this, is going to be tonight, tomorrow, for the next number of days. I get that, and I think everybody has a right to be upset. But I said it after Game 5 down in South Beach. I'm going to keep saying it. Joel Embiid was playing through so much pain this postseason. Say what you want about the guy. He is an absolute beast. He's a warrior. He gave everything he could. It wasn't enough the last couple of games, but he tried his tail off. Danny Green, obviously, gave everything he had tonight. And the other guys were trying, even though I know that doesn't mean anything when you lose back-to-back games and you're now out of the postseason. But I think that this was a great start for the team this season, even though I know it's been going on for a while, but I'm really hoping that they can keep the majority, if not all of these guys together and see how they can grow together, because I think James Harden is still an incredible playmaker, and I think he will re-find his shot after he gets 100%. I don't think James has been 100% the whole time he's been here because of the hamstring. Again, I don't know anything. That's not any sources. That's just my thought watching the guy play. So I think pick up a couple of pieces in the offseason who can help you shoot better when you need a couple of buckets off the bench. And then, as you mentioned about the Miami Heat defense, Marc, the defense was a huge part of the reason that the Sixers went as far as they did last season. It dropped off a little bit this year, but if you can refine that defense and get, again, one of the best defenses in the NBA, add a couple of pieces, I think this team will have a really good shot again next season.
Sorry, Kate, I have a follow-up because you mentioned something I have to ask. We mentioned Joel Embiid's banged up. Yes, messed up hand. Now the other hand is banged up. He has a broken face. But one thing that I thought that we had an advantage over this Miami Heat is we didn't just have Joel Embiid. We had 3 other guys who was capable of putting the ball in the basket, meaning Tobias Harris, Maxey, and James Harden. James Harden, we say hamstring, not 100%. I don't know about all that. But I know we had 3 other guys that could score, and they didn't get it done consistently. So we have to we can't just say, oh, Joel was banged up. That's true, but Joel had help in other guys. Can we just, we have to bring that up.
Yeah, I think you're completely spot on, Marc. Where were they the other night when it was obvious that Joel was hurting? And where were they tonight? And we've seen them. I think that's the most frustrating part, right? We saw that James still has it when he stepped up here in Game 4. We've seen Tyrese go off multiple times this season. We've seen Tobias have a fantastic postseason, except for the last couple of games. So right there with you, Marc. I'm not in any way blaming this on Joel's inability to play to the level that he wanted to play. I think you're spot on. At some point, you need to look around and say, our big guy's not 100%. We just lost DG to an awful injury. All right, I'm going to take it upon myself to figure out a way to fight and win us this game. So I think you're spot on. I think there's going to be a lot to think about, a lot to talk about over the next days and weeks, and a little more for you all to talk about tonight on Postgame Live, right?
That is right. Kate Scott, I just want to take a moment to say thank you for a wonderful season. Of course, in the broadcast booth, always joining us here on Sixers Pre and Post Game Live. And of course, throughout this playoff run, it's been a pleasure to have you. And I look forward to many more years working with you, my friend.
Right there with you, Amy, Marc, and Coach. It has been an honor and a pleasure. You all truly are the best in the business, best fans in the NBA, and it's an honor to be here. Sorry I couldn't bring you the win tonight, Amy. I told you I was going to get you the dub. Screwed that up. That's on me.
That's all right. I'll count on you next year for a bunch.
I'm in.
All right, thanks, Kate. Kate Scott, of course, doing a great job for us all throughout the regular season with Ala Abdinabi and during the playoffs, where she's been our roving reporter for this series. We were just talking about some of the crazy stats, and there was one that just came up. It's the first time in James Harden's career that he played 40 minutes and did not attempt a single free throw. The first time in his career. He's not a second-year player. He has played in the league 13 years. All of us raised our eyebrows at that, right, Jim?
Yeah, that's a telling number, an astounding number for me.
It's one of those things. As Kate mentioned, there's just going to be so many questions to have to answer. We're going to try to answer some of them, or at least present a couple of different options for you as we look ahead now to the offseason, unfortunately, and so is this guy. Let's check in now with Doc Rivers after his team's elimination loss.
The second half is
Yeah, I thought, forget just the second half. never got any offensive rhythm throughout the game, in my opinion, more than just the second half. But the second half, the turnovers, the sloppy play, you know, just killed us. It really did. But I thought it was all game. You know, I just didn't like how we played. I didn't like how we played last game. Didn't like how we played tonight. All game. I mean, I know what they have. I get that. You can visually see that athletically, and they're big. And I just thought that, I don't know, I just thought we had more. I really did.
If you laid the feet of your point guard, James Harden,
I don't lay the feet of anybody. We're a team. Like, we don't do that. We really are. We lost together as a group. I lost, Joel lost, James, we all lost. And, you know, the greatest thing about this is you keep trying to put your team back in these positions to win. That's what's so great about this. You know, you don't lose and then go home. You get to come back. And say that about James and all of our guys. That's the greatest part. You know, a lot of people don't ever want to come back. Our guys, you put everything you have into it every year, knowing that there's a chance, and probably the better chance, that you're not going to win it. But you want to believe every year that you can. And every year that you don't, you get your heart broken, and it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it, and I'll tell you that.
Coach, to that point, though, James only took 2 shots in the second half.
Yeah.
Would you like him to be a little bit more aggressive?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to make this a referendum on James, okay? You know, we just could have played better. The ball could have moved more. You know, I don't know. Did we have enough time to get our stuff in? I don't know that. I thought we did, honestly. I really did. But clearly we didn't.
You said you want to make this all about James, but I did ask you to evaluate his performance all season.
Yeah, I'll do that later, Keith. I'm not going to do that after a game. You know, again, we all showed up to win the game. Not one of us didn't. All right, and I know how this goes. You know, whenever a team loses, we all look for blame. That's what we all do. I don't know when that started, but we do. And you know what? I think all of us have big enough shoulders that we can take it, and we just keep working and doing our best.
I know it's still kind of close, but this season, how are you going to remember this? I mean, I know it started off.
We had a lot of distractions this year, Keith. You know, we really did. And I think when I look back on this season, you know, not having our second best player for most of the year, and no one thought we would be where we would record-wise. And so I like to think that we did a hell of a job getting us there, all right? And then we get James, and we wanted to see if we had enough time to put it together. And clearly we did not. And I thought execution was a major problem, in my opinion. You know, so I think we should celebrate Joel. You know, Jokic is a worthy MVP, but so was Joel, and so was Giannis. Joel went through a lot this year, you know, having to shoulder the load for most of the year, and he did that. I think we should celebrate Tyrese. You know, he grew up in front of your eyes. And so there's a lot of good things that we can take out of the year. The bad thing is we're not going to be the winner. You know, there's only going to be one of those, by the way. And we're just not going to be it.
Glenn, how much have you thought about job security?
I don't worry about my job, Howard. I think I do a terrific job, and if you don't, then you should write it, because I worked my butt off to get this team here. When I first got here, no one picked us to be anywhere. And again this year, the same thing. So if that's how anyone feels, write it, and I'm going to feel secure about it.
It's a results-based business, and that's
it
why
is, but you don't do it every year. Every time you're wrong, should you lose your job? No. So it's the same thing, all right? But listen, if you believe that, then go with it. I know what I did this year, and I feel very good about that. But again, if you believe that, Howard, then you just run with it.
Did you think you had enough time to get everything right?
I did.
2 games ago?
I did. I still did. I just believe in our guys. That's my job as a coach.
I guess what, obviously, these last 2 games did not go the same way as the ones before. What changed, do you think?
Well, Miami changed. They played great. They played more physical. They crushed us on the glass. They made every energy, hustle play, quickness play. No, we absolutely have to get better. We have to do things to make our team better. There's no doubt about that. You know, we saw that coming in. We look at the two teams, and we said, listen, we need people. But we tried to do it with what we had, and that's all you can do. And again, I love our guys. I thought every single one of them, whether they played well or not, every single one of our guys showed up to play. And that's all you can ever ask for.
How much did not having Joel Embiid in those first 2 games put you in the context?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, give Miami credit, number one. They did what they had to do. Up until tonight, no team had won on the road, and they came in here and won. We had Joel tonight, and we didn't win. Was Joel 100%? Absolutely not. I think that was clear. I still thought it was his hand far more than the mask that bothered him, but it didn't matter. We suited our guys up, and we played them, and that's all we could do.
How much of a gut punch was it to understanding early on with that?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, Danny obviously is important to us. That's 2 playoffs in a year in a row that we've lost, and 2 playoffs in a row that Joel's not been healthy, But there's nothing you can do about that. That's just the way that it rose sometimes, and you still got to try to figure out ways of winning.
You mentioned Tyrese, Joel, Harden. At the same time, I mean, your depth was what it was. Do you look at this team and see, there are things we can do to make this core?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that today. But clearly, we have to improve.
When you reflect on what Joel was able to overcome over the last week or so, what does that just say about his character when you zoom out?
Yeah, I mean, he played, and he wanted to play. It says a lot about him. I think there are so many factors with him, like hand not playing for a week and jumping into a playoff series that's every other day. So conditioning clearly had an impact on him today throughout the series, But listen, he wanted to stay, he wanted to play, and so I love coaching him, and I love what he's about. I love watching him grow up. He's still young, and I don't think we understand how young Joel is. I think we get lost in how good he is, and we forget about his age. So he's got a lot to learn, and he's doing that.
Did you talk to them, and if so, what did you tell them?
I don't ever share that, but of course we talk, but I don't share that.
You were searching for whatever, off the bench.
Yeah.
Furkan couldn't really give you much in Yang, really. And then the third quarter, you end up running the offense through Shake because he was the guy that was
we're searching for whatever we can get. I mean, at that point, that's not a good place to be. But it's the place we were in, and you just try to do what you can do to get your offense going.
How is Danny doing?
Not good, So I don't know what happened, but I mean, you all saw it. It can't be good. So I felt for him, and I want to say this too, without getting emotional. Paul Millsap, maybe his last game of his career, and I think people at the losses think it's just me or Joel or James taking it hard. I'm looking at this guy. He's given his whole career to basketball, and he's in there crying after the game. And so for me, that was really sad, So many of these guys, they give it to the city. They give everything they have. And sometimes it's just not good enough. I came to the conclusion at the end of this game, we were not good enough to beat Miami. I can accept that. And we just were not. And that's a tough thing to say, but we were not.
You mentioned there's only one winner, and when you're the guy on the opposite side is Jimmy Butler, and kind of just the attitude and mentality that he brings. How tough is that to deal with him when he's?
Yeah, but listen, Jimmy, it's just like me and everybody else. How many titles has Jimmy won? And that's how hard it is to win. When you got a guy that plays as hard as he is and fights as hard as he is every year, and he's still yet to win. Winning is hard. It is. And I don't think people get that. They want to just sit and blame people for losing. Sometimes winning's hard. And it's just going to be one winner. That's just the way it is. But I swear to God, I love the fight. I love being in the fray, and I love trying to win and getting your team to believe that they can win. And I thought we did that. I thought we built this team this year to believe they can win. Whether they could or not, they believed it. And that's a great thing.
What does it take to get past the second round?
I don't care about the second round. I care about the championships. All right? I don't know. Clearly, Howard, right now, it's right after we just lost. We'll figure that out. We don't have enough yet. We know that, right? So we have to keep building. You know, we're not going to tear it apart. We keep building, and that's what you have to keep doing. You know, we're not the only city, right? Like, we just got to keep going and hang in there. And that's what we do. I keep saying it. Athletes and coaches, they just get back up and do it over and over and over again until they get it. And that's what you have to do. And that's what we're going to do.
You just mentioned Tyrese.
So a lot to digest there from Doc Rivers. Asked about his job security, asked about what does it take going to get past the second round. He said, listen, I'm worried about championships. And he had a very profound thing, I thought, when he said, listen, you do this every year, over and over and over again, and it almost always ends in heartbreak, except for you when you win that 1 or 2 times. It's elusive. You guys have been in the league, you know. How does Philly get over being heartbroken all of the time? 21 years it's taken them, and they still haven't, Marc and Jim, gotten past the second round. That's heartbreak. That's what the city is feeling right now, Marc.
Unfortunately, it's 29 other teams, and we have to keep that in mind when we think about our team. Are we doing necessarily adjustments and enriching our team to make us a worthy championship opponent or foe? And I think we have made strides the last 2 years to ultimately build on that. Now, we can all call it what it is, but Jimmy not signing back, that's a major problem. But I think even with that being said, we've made adjustments and changes to better this team. Were we championship worthy? I really thought we had a chance this year. I really do believe that. And if y'all people know me. People know me. I walk around the city every day, and my conversations with everybody every day is like, be honest. And I'm always honest. You know why? Because I'm born and raised in this city. I know what we're about. And I know how we wear everything on our sleeve. This is our team. This is our heart. This is our soul. So not speak to y'all, speak facts. I really believe that we had a chance to beat this Miami Heat team. We're going to blame it on Joel's health, James not being 100%. I don't care about none of that. But what we put together to beat this team, I believe we was. And we lost the series, and I'll say it again. I truly believe that.
Jim, does that make it harder?
Yeah, I guess it does. And I thought that the Sixers did have a chance in this series. If Joel had not been injured, I would have picked the Sixers to win this series. But I don't think you can overstate how compromised he was. And you heard Doc say, I thought the mask was a big deal. Doc said he thought the thumb was way more hindersome than the mask. And I certainly would defer to Doc there. So I think that was a huge factor. But I'm also going to agree with Doc that the best team won this series.
Yeah, they came to play. They took the fight to the Sixers, and they absolutely took this series and took these games right from the Sixers, including this elimination Game 6.